Welcome back, friendly ghosts. Today we're gonna be doing a new game plus. What the flip? Okay, 1 second. Every single time. As I was saying, welcome back, friendly ghosts. Happy New Year's, happy 2020. Keep hopes alive. Today we're gonna be starting a new game plus gameplay playthrough. I don't know if it's possible. This is the Japan stuttering the J's again. This is the Japan version of the game. I don't know if it's possible to do new game plus, but I'm gonna see if I can do it. New game plus, if you're not familiar, there is a glitch that you can only do once you made it to the end of the game, where you can start the game fresh with all of your late game items. And it varies depending on what setout you get. Like sometimes you get Dragoons, sometimes you get just the weapons, sometimes you might get only some of the levels, sometimes you might get no levels, you know, so it varies. It's all luck based, depending on how good you are at just framing, basically. Alright, so sorry if I'm talking over this cutscene. It's just it's another year, another playthrough. So this is her. Is it bad that I know every single dialogue to this game? I feel like that's not healthy. Indeed. Put her in custody. Is this really necessary? It is His Majesty. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, if I wanted to, I could do every single dialogue in this game by heart. I feel like that's not a good thing. But yeah, okay, so let me explain what I'm about to do, because I could go about this one or two ways. Like I was debating, maybe I wanted to do a Rose solo, or if I wanted to do a New Game Plus. I've decided that I'm going to take a chance on New Game Plus, but I can't do it in the English version because I don't have a save file at the end of the game, but I do have one here. So I'm going to try to do it, and here's the challenge. For all you challenge junkies out there, like myself. Since it's New Game Plus and we're going to be overpowered from beginning to end, basically, depending on how we get our layout to work with the glitch, I'm going to not use any healing items whatsoever for the entire playthrough. If I get a healing item, I'm going to toss it out. I'm going to sell it. No healing for HP, no healing for MP, unless it's an equipment. So that's how I'm gonna do this, to make it hard on myself. And I was also thinking, like, maybe I would like intentionally poison myself so I have like a 10-turn rule. Maybe I might do that. I'm not sure. We're ironing it out. We're ironing it out as we go along. So I don't know. Well, I'll decide on that. And if you have any feedback for a specific challenge of how I should go about doing this, let me know. You know, because I'm up for it. The harder the better, as long as it's not the type of, what's the word for it, as long as it's not a very redundant type of challenge where it's like you can't use a distance, you can't use you know ways that you can expand the gameplay, you can't use this specific part of the game. As long as it's not like restricting myself in my ability to have fun, then I'm all for it. But I feel like a no addition challenge would be just pretty lame. Are you mercenary Basil? Answer! What are you doing? Are you drawing a sword against us? What is... What the heck is that? I feel like a nerd that I know every single dialogue. I gotta do something or I'll be killed. Run. Dun 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 dun. Alright, so I'm gonna iron out the play style that I'm doing. I'm thinking it's just gonna be no healing items for now, but the moment I run along an enemy that can poison, then I might just intentionally poison my entire party and just have it be poisoned for the entire playthrough or something like that. I think that could be very interesting. In fact, I'm leaning heavily towards that. I don't know how feasible that is, like how often does the game automatically cure you from status effects. That might put a hamper on things. But I'll just like intentionally give myself a status effect whenever I can. I was also debating like maybe I should just do like a complete guide walkthrough tutorial one where I just like study and lab on every single enemy. You know, so I'm considering that. But I'll probably do that once remake is announced. Once that is announced, that's when I'll do that. And I'll lab every single enemy from beginning to end. And I'll do like an entire game tutorial for everybody, just like study every enemy down, just try to learn, you know, the secret strats that maybe nobody's just found yet. Use my fighting game instincts to dissect Legend of Dragoon. You know, when remake is announced, that's when I'll do that. So that's if, but I'm saying when. Alright, so you might be wondering, why am I not doing the glitch right now? I haven't done it yet. I have to get to the save point in order to do it. So that's why I had to start a new game. And I wanted to show off the intro too, because that you always have to start off a new gameplay, a new playthrough with the intro. That intro is something nice. Alright, this fight is mandatory. Mandatory, yo bun. Don't you hurt yourself too bad trying to do these additions. Man, I had a pretty good New Year's. I spent the entire day yesterday here with this guy on the left attack me. I hit this guy. Excuse me, I said left, I meant right. Yeah, I spent New Year's Eve playing Monopoly with the fam, playing Uno. I got like a 7-3 lead on everybody as far as wins are concerned. I don't know where I became the MVP, you know, expert of Monopoly all of a sudden, but hey, I'm on a roll. Yeah, so I spent New Year's Eve playing Monopoly, and this morning, or like earlier today, I was on Twitch, you know, just watching people playing this game. You know, so that was fun, that was cool, you know, it was laid back. I enjoyed myself. It was so fun. It made me realize that for some reason, I just have this urge to just play this game. I can't get it out of my system yet, so like I've matured in my ability to appreciate games. Like I don't just look at it for the story or just for how much trouble somebody's in. I now look at it in the aspect of just, I don't know, just like a deeper calling that I have for it. Okay. So I have 2 save files up here. So I can actually attempt it right now. So here's how you do the glitch, the New Game Plus glitch. I'm gonna do it on the one that's not the full time. I'm gonna use it on this one because it's the earlier time. So what you do is I'm trying to remember it myself. You use your new gameplay, your new game, from Celis, and you save over a late game save file from at the last save point at the right before you fight the final boss. And as the game is saving, you restart the game, and that's it. And when you do that, if you time it right, then you get some of the save files transferred, and it gets all like miscombobulated and all that jazz. So I'm gonna try it and see if I can do it, 'cause I haven't done it in a while. So what I'm gonna do is, once I click to save it, I'm gonna go in here. I'm on PS3. I'm gonna go in here, and I'm gonna click reset the game. I'm gonna click disc 1. I'm gonna have to do it like, I have to get the timing down first. So let me save the game normally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So somewhere in between that 5 and 6, I'm gonna want to reset the game, because I don't want it to say save game. Now obviously I can't read Japanese, so I have to kind of get used to it. Okay, so let's try it. I'm gonna do it on 4 seconds. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so maybe that was it. I kind of just forgot. I only did it once. But sometimes you could do it and you could get locked out of the game. Like, it won't let you progress past disc 2. So yeah, I think that's if you have all your Dragoons transferred. But I managed to do it once on my other save file, and it allowed me to pass by disc 2. You know, I was able to get past disc 2. So I'm thinking, as long as we don't get Dragoons to go with the save file to transfer over, then it allows you to continue through the game. Of course, I only done it once, so let me look at the top file. It transferred, but did my levels transfer? And I won't know. It says level 1 right there, but it'll say something different once we get into the game, if I did it right. So, moment of truth. I'm still level 1. Nope, it didn't work, because I don't want my save file to run out of this 4 save files. You want to have duplicates of that, because if you mess up and you lose your disc 4 in the game save file, you're going to have to play through the entire game again to get to that point in order to try it again. So you're going to want to have multiple save files from your disc 4 in the game. So don't do it unless you have at least 2 of those. That's very important, because chances are you're not going to get it first try. The only thing I want is a new game plus. A new game plus, a natural new game plus. Randomized items, randomized equipments, randomized enemies. Moment of truth. Yeah, it didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I got 2 tries left if this ain't it. I'm getting too late. I'm not even getting close to it. I don't even know if it's possible. Here we go. I'm gonna wait for it to show up. Alright, right there. Oh no! I turned the game off. Woof. It did not work. It did not work. Okay, so it doesn't seem like the glitch is possible in this version of the game. But I still have 1 attempt left. I still have 1 attempt left. So I'm gonna try it again. Somewhere between 4 with a semi-fast count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I felt like I was pretty on point. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just have to do a solo playthrough. But maybe if I do a solo playthrough in the Japanese, I can't say the word. I always stutter when I say Japan. I just stuttered right there. Maybe it'll be interesting. Trying to do a solo in the Japan version of the game. Well, this is it. So or nothing. Who? Oh, I can't even speak. I can't even speak. Who is Mr. ITOwl the Clutch? Who's the Clutch? If that wasn't Clutch, the last save file? And I didn't get any Dragoon spirits either, so I think this one's solid. My items, I still have the same items. My equipments, Dart, I think still has the Dragon Buster. I mean you know what it's called. I think he still has that. Okay, the thing is I can't use any of my team members just yet. Okay. Ooh, that was sick! Okay, so we're in business. We're in business to start the new year. 2020 Let's Play is a go. So here's the deal. I'm gonna be doing a no healing whatsoever, no healing. So as soon as I can get rid of his therapy ring that I'm pretty sure he has on, I'm gonna get rid of it. So that Dart's gonna have like his automatic poison system working for him with his weapon. And I'm going to have to poison my other two members, or get status effects or whatever, and I'm going to have to not heal for the entire game, or at least we'll adjust it as we go along. Let's just get into it. Okay, I'm going to start it right off with Moon Strike. Oh no, Madness Hero. Woo. It works. It still works in the Japan version. That was sick. And on the last, did that happen? Did that just happen? Is this the hypest way to start a playthrough? A clutch start to the playthrough? The last save file. Oh my god, I didn't even know if it was possible. I can't even speak. That singing to private was nothing to be confident. Oh, who the hell am I? I'm gonna make him talk. I don't know. What did you take with Shauna? You must be perceiving the blah 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 blah. Okay, so I get to show off some strats that I wouldn't be able to show off otherwise, even though I showed them off plenty of times before. So this fight is pretty simple. All you have to do is kill the commander, and you win. And the other two run off. He doesn't even have... He doesn't have... So what you call it? Feels bad, man. I'll guard it out. Dang, do I have the... Do I have the Magnolium Dolium Psychedelic Petroleum? Do I have power-ups? I think the game takes those away. I'm pretty sure the game takes those items away from you. It's like, even if you do manage to use this glitch, you will not be able to utilize all of these goods that you had before. I think it takes those items away from you. Okay. I still have. Okay. I still have them. I don't see the... I think that's it. Or no, that's not it. Sort this mess out. Pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure I don't know which one it is. It should be very obvious which one it is. It should have a lot of stuff written on it. I think that's it. That has to be it. Wanna know the funny thing is, if you have the... I forget what his sword is called. But if you have that sword, and you go into the tutorial, and you let the sword KO you with each turn, if you stay in the tutorial long enough, you get a game over. So, I'm gonna be collecting the Stardust, and I'm gonna be, again, building up my characters. No healing items. As soon as I get the therapy ring off Dart, I'm gonna toss it away. And I'm gonna be building up my characters. I'm gonna try to poison them, you know, so I have like a 10 turn limit. And I'm gonna be probably breezing through a lot of these enemies, but the only thing that's gonna be taking me down is the turns that is gonna have me to beat them. You know, and I'm gonna have to beat the game, you know, under those circumstances, since I'm gonna be so overpowered. And I'm gonna work my way up through the game, and the ultimate goal is to fight the final boss and the final secret boss. That's gonna be the ultimate goal. So everything we do is gonna be build up to that one moment, because we're already prepared. We're just gonna be prepared. You know. Like, let's say that we were... No, I'm not gonna say that. Let me stop myself before I get in trouble. Alright, so I'm going to stock up on a lot of healing potions. I mean, not healing potions. I meant granola bars. Granola stinking bars. Of this variety. Hold up. Can I sell weapons from my people that I can't use? It won't let me sell anything. And can I get a double of these items? I'm pretty sure the game's gonna take these items away from me. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Pretty sure that's what happens, don't you know? I got a lot of these freaking items. Oh, I know a way to tell. I just need to find out which one's 200. Yeah, get rid of all these sucker punching ones, and yeah, we don't need any of these. Taking up all the space. just look at the price tag. Oh, sell the healing items. I might as well just do this. Alright. And also, this is going to be a no death one. So, if I get a KO, if I get a game over, restart from scratch. Teach me. I'm guessing this is a no. Nice. Nice, fam. So I gotta figure out a righteous way to do that. How should I make this a righteous no death run? We're gonna have to really iron out these challenges. We're gonna have to really set them about. Because I don't want them to be too convoluted. At the same time, I don't want them to be, I don't have to scroll down, I can just go to the menu and use my charm poses. I don't want them to be too convoluted, but I also don't want it to be too easy, because I feel like that was the biggest risk of doing this. Is that I know it's going to be easy to breeze through the game like this. And I'm not sure how interesting that's going to be. So I want it to feel like natural in its challenge for me. And I was going to stream like on Christmas. On Christmas I was going to stream a no death run. Like on Christmas Eve and on Christmas, but I think Google updated. And ever since it updated, not only has my internet been messed up, but it messed up my Elgato as well. Like I can't connect to my account anymore. The entire option is just grayed out and I can't access it. Right. So yeah, that's really bummed up. And I'm not sure if that's going to change anytime soon. But, you know, that's why I haven't been, you know, doing any content lately. Because I wanted to stream and I just haven't been able to do that because it won't recognize, you know, that I have the option to do what I've been doing for the past year. Like, I don't know, do I have to update my Elgato? Do I have to, you know, do some weird stuff I never had to do before? You're killing me, Larry! Oh, could you imagine this in a remake? Where we have to do... Okay, imagine this. If there's a remake, there would be probably no random encounters. The enemies would just be laid out on the field. You know, like, every encounter would be like Helena Prison, where you have to run into the enemy and blah blah blah, you know, like the desert late game. In like the fortress of the Black Castle. I imagine that's how it would be in a remake, where there would just be like enemies laid out and they'll probably respawn. Oh my god, that would be so sick. But truthfully, it really doesn't need to be a remake. A remaster is all that I need. All I need is a remaster. A remaster with updated options and fast travel and cutscenes, you know, enhanced. Let's just say enhanced, because the cutscenes take way too long. So let me just say some of the things that I feel like the game just does completely wrong, that are just completely against what the game is trying to put down. The game wants you to be immersed in the gameplay. It wants you to feel like you're performing each and every single strike that you're doing. It wants you to feel engaged in every single action. That's why there's button presses involved. That's why they're you know, the additions are like they are. That's why there are encounters. demanding for you to have reflexes and reactions. You know, so the game is putting down that, and it wants you to be like in this real time world. You know, this game is essentially the beginning of action RPGs. This is kind of the beginning of that. You know, Final Fantasy VII did it with the live, what you call it. You know what I'm talking about. Let me concentrate. It did it with the live turns. You know, I don't know if 7's the one that started it. You know, so that did it in its way. And Dragoon, if you were to take those two and put them together, you basically have, you know, today's action RPGs. So Legend Dragoon was kind of the pioneer in that respect, in that regard. You know, so if you were to, I forget what I was saying. What was I talking about? Was I talking about remaster or remakes? Oh yeah, so with the things that Legend Dragoon did wrong, in my opinion, that it did just completely, utterly wrong. So the game is putting down, and it wants you to be live and in the moment. But at the same time, there are these moments in the game where you just have to wait for everything to play out on its own. You know, so like magic attacks, you know, spell attacks for Dragoon. It seems like a very important thing that's in the game that they would want you to be, you know, in control of. You know, it seems like something that they would want you to have control over. But it's just one giant cutscene. You know, so it's like that's kind of takes you away from that immersion a bit, where you're just sitting watching a cutscene for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you know, or God forbid, for whatever reason, you have the transformations still on. You're waiting an entire minute just to do one attack. You know, so it has these moments where it just takes you away from what you're doing. When the game is demanding for you to be in the moment, and for the game to constantly put you in the moment, then it takes you out of the moment to watch a cutscene, and it puts you back in the moment, and it takes you out. It's frustrating. And so I get with people who just outright just hate this game. They hate its guts. They say it's the worst thing to exist. In that regard, I can see where they come from. I don't agree with them, of course, but I can see their plight. You know, and the game is not the worst game ever. You know, people say it's overrated and blah blah blah. A lot of my videos, I say why, the things that they did wrong, and I say those things, but still, Lavis 500 for it. Okay, let me finish my thought first. Even though I say, let me just end these guys fast. I'll do my distance in the boss battle. Even though the game has all these flaws, it's still a great game. Like, just because it has these flaws doesn't make it any less of a great game. When people say it's overrated, you know, blah blah blah, people remember it too fondly. They say that. I've seen a lot of comments that say like, well, I think people really just over romanticize this game because they don't actually remember how the game was. You know, they don't remember, you know, actually playing the game, and that the game is actually not that great, you know. And I see a lot of these people, and they don't really have a lot of backup to what they're saying, other than the things that, you know, we already know. The game is slow. It suffers from the hardware that it was on. The game was a first attempt. It was the first attempt. This wasn't the 5th attempt. It wasn't the 2nd. It wasn't the 3rd. It wasn't the 7th. It was the first attempt. And as we Dragoon, you know, peeps, what we know, you know, what we see the potential. You know, we see the potential. Legend of Dragoon is a rookie, and we see the potential. You know, it's low key. It's rookie Michael Jordan. You know, and people always say, well, Michael Jordan, you know, he's just overhyped. He doesn't have a jump shot. He doesn't have, you know, all the fundamentals that he needs. You know, blah blah blah. You know, Michael Jordan, you give him a chance, he turns out to be the best player to ever exist. You know, you give this game a chance, you give it a second season at least, give it a chance to evolve its game, you know, in this pro world of video games, and then you see what it has. Mortal Kombat 1, a lot of people say that that game was trash. Street Fighter 1, people say that that game was garbage. You know, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, people don't like that, they like Pro Skater 2. They like Twisted Metal 2. You know, so on and so forth. You saying just because the first game has some flaws? Yeah, it has a ton of flaws. I say it all the time, the game is slow as dirt. Loading times out the vomus. Cutscenes that make me wanna vomit. I hate the fact that there are no shortcuts in the game. There are very few shortcuts once you go through a level. You can't fast travel, you don't get shortcuts to bypass that level. Encounter rates are very high. You know, and because the cutscenes are so long, it seems like your options of attacking are limited. Because you don't want to sit through that 30-second animation just to do an attack that is the opponent's weakness. So you instead insist on just doing it, grinding out with the additions because it's quicker, even though it's technically not the right way. It has, these are the flaws that I see. And there are a few more. But does that make it a bad game? Does it make it a terrible game? Does it make it a bad RPG? Does it make it any this and that, this and that? It's definitely a mark off of it. Does it make it a bad game? Nah. It's still a great game. And time shows that. But yeah, it's the first game, you know, it's not like it's, give it a chance. Final Fantasy had a decade. They had an entire decade of optimizing their game, of perfecting their game, of perfecting the way to make games for their players and their fan base, understanding what people want. They had an entire decade plus of years before they got to Final Fantasy VII. And people compare Dragoon to Final Fantasy VII, the first year game, to a game that had decades of work built behind it from experienced people. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the first attempt. So of course, there's gonna be knockbacks on it. There's gonna be people who knock it. There's reasons to knock it. There's reasons to see potential in it, and I think that's what a lot of people see. That's what a lot of people want. And there are people who say like, well, because the game, it wasn't really all that, it doesn't deserve a remake, because, you know, people really remember the game to be better than what it was. And it's like, dog, do you understand the purpose of a remake, brother? Do you not understand that the remake is to make the game better, to make it more modern? Do you not understand the purpose? You don't. Why would you remake a game that's perfect in every way? The game wouldn't need a remake. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, dog, do you know that a remake is to like get rid of the flaws of the game? You know, like, come on now. Like, you know, it's just like, it's crazy that people just, you know, they just can't see beyond the box. You know, whatever hatred that they have, and I know there's reasons to dislike the game. I dislike the game for a lot of reasons, but I still love it. You know, the reasons I've just said are all the reasons. I'm sure I could come up with more. I wish there were more side quests. I wish the towns were a lot more like the first town you go to. You know, the towns seem to get less and less and less involved as you go on. I wish that, you know, there were more side quests. I wish that you can visually see the changes in your characters with their weapons and equipments. I wish that, let's see, what else do I wish? You know, Let me do this edition real quick. I didn't change this edition. Ooh. I should actually be doing Lavish editions. I should be doing his. Excuse me. Pardon me. But yeah, as I was saying before I went on that tangent, Legendary Dragoon, it didn't really capitalize on its strength and what it was trying to put down of, you know, getting players in that interactive set, you know, in that Sony interactive setting. You know, so if there were a remaster, or you know, there would be a chance to just like maybe just change it a bit, you know, so those 20-second cutscenes, will cut them down to 10-second cutscenes. Them 20-second transformation cutscenes, cut them down to 7 seconds. You know, and that way, when we want to attack an enemy's weakness, we feel more inclined to do them because we're not being penalized for doing them. Those I forget how long it was. I counted it. I did a video on it. Those what 15-second intros to fight a battle. Cut those down to 3 seconds. You know, these things increase a lot of value for this game. It's just changing that. The game is improved by at least 2 full points. At least. Let's say that it was worldwide score to 7. That increases it to a 9. Easily. Okay, let me look at these editions real quick. Gust of Wind Dance. Let me look at. Okay, so here's how this thing works, cause with this glitch, with this new game plus glitch, at least in the way that I have it, even though I had these characters, their counterparts, you know, at higher levels, the game gives your characters their levels that they were when they stopped being in use. So for me, Lavish stopped being in use at level 13. For Shana, it was level 19, which was, you know, later in the game. So they don't get their full levels that my other characters will get. Like if I get Rose, she'll be around the same level as Dart, you know, because I have her late game and this, you know, the late game. If I get Miro, she'll be late game. If I get Congo or, you know, Hasho, whoever, they'll be late game. But once I get their counterparts, you know, with the King and Miranda, they'll still be at the same level as they are here. You know, so I have to build them up more than I have to build these guys up. So that's how the new game plus glitch works for me. You could probably make it work differently, but oh crap, I'm not too sure how.